Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be talking all about why the market could crash, why the property market could collapse, the 3 or 4, maybe 5 reasons that you need to be very careful about that could lead to the property market collapsing. All right, I've done videos before on why I don't think it will, but here are the reasons, and I want you to tell me whether you agree with them, disagree with them. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. Please tell me what your rationale is. Okay, so my name's PK, and I help people build passive income by buying positive cash flow, high growth properties using data without using a buyer's agent. Guys, this is our video. I want you to let me know below if I've missed anything. If you think there are other reasons or causes for a property market collapse that I have ignored, please subscribe, please hit the notification bell so we can create a really interesting dialogue going forward. Okay. So the first reason, interest rates increasing by more than 3% in less than a year. Why am I saying that? Well, when banks give you a loan, they already assess whether you could have afforded to pay that loan on a 2% increase versus what you're really paying. So let's say they've given you a loan for 2.5%. Very common these days. They're actually assessing whether you could afford to pay that at 4.5%. So if interest rates go up 1%, 2%, it's not a big deal because they've already buffered that in. But if interest rates go up 3% in less than 1 year, which means less time for people to adjust, manipulate, adjust, or really configure their lives to afford that higher interest payment, it happens really fast. That is something that could cause massive mortgage stress and potentially lead to a property market fall. Do you agree with that, or do you think it should be more than 3%? Leave a number below. More than 3%, or do you reckon even less than 3% could cause a crash? Tell me. Okay, the second reason why the property market could collapse, I'm not saying will, could collapse, is this COVID. Right now we're in the Delta strain. If there is a Charlie strain, so Alpha, wait, that didn't make sense. If there's an Echo strain, so after D comes E, there's an Echo strain, and that means another 6 months of lockdown. The current vaccines don't work anymore. The current vaccines don't prevent transmission or transfusion between individuals in the community. That would mean that Australia well and truly goes into a double or even triple dip recession. If that means that unemployment goes beyond 12%, that was really going to be dire warnings, because now that is structural, now that is hard to get out of, now that is really, really difficult for us to do much about, okay? Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments, but I think even if we had a double dip recession because of this Delta strain and unemployment went up to 10 or 12%, that's not really even going to cause a crash because we already had that. Unemployment was above 10% just 6 months ago. But if there's a triple dip recession because of Delta strain Echo, a third wave, then I think that will really start to creak the property market, okay? Because unemployment would rise and all the consequential effects, okay? It would need to rise beyond 12%. That's the second thing. The third thing that could really collapse the property market is if there's a flat out geopolitical or political war between China and Australia. We rely on China more than any other country in the world. I don't have stats to prove that, but where does all our GDP come from? It comes from iron ore, coal, and gas exports, okay? That's all going to either Japan, India, or China. So for anyone who thinks that, we should become a politically independent country, an economically independent country, putting all your social issues to the side, we need China more than ever before. And China is looking to need Australia less than ever before. They still rely on us, but they're looking to have that reliability factor diminished. They want to become self-sufficient when it comes to iron ore. If Brazil starts to really get its act together politically and produce more and more iron ore, which they have the reserves for, then China could re-pivot their focus. I mean, they're already, hard arming us. They're already strong arming us, is I think the word, when it comes to, exports and adding tariffs and subsidies. That's already happening, but not on the key things, agriculture, dairy, and resources. But if and when they start doing that and there is a political war, that will really mean that the economy in Australia, the real economy, not just the property market, the real economy, mums and dads who rely on the resources sector directly or indirectly through service-oriented businesses, that will really suffer, okay? That's the third reason the property market could collapse. The fourth reason is if there's massive defaults, meaning increased stock on market, meaning that the balance right now where demand is higher than supply, it rebalances or reskews with supply being higher than demand. Let me say that again. If there are thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of defaults, foreclosures, people losing their jobs, not able to make their repayments, and they start defaulting on their loans, that will mean that all of them are now going to sell, all right? And that will mean that supply is more than demand and property prices come down, okay? That's the fourth reason. The fifth reason is like the dinosaurs. They could be a meteor, okay? That's a little bit of a flippant comment, but tell me, is this really likely to happen? That's the point of this video. How many of these eventualities are really likely to happen? Number one, interest rates increasing by more than 2 or 3% in a single year. The Reserve Bank has categorically come out and said that will never, never, never happen. In fact, they're saying they're not increasing it until 2024, which increasingly so is becoming a true prediction with the economy, looking like it's not going from strength to strength anymore because of the lockdowns. Number one. But tell me if you disagree. You're entitled to your opinion. Number two, if COVID wave 3 comes. Now, is that likely? Is it likely that we have a Delta strain replicate to an Echo strain in a year's time? Now, anything is possible. I'm not a medical expert, but tell me what you guys think. I mean, in the comments, do you think there's going to be another wave 3, another Delta strain, Echo strain, something like that? I think it's unlikely, but I have no basis of fact to judge that on. Only the fact that globally it's not happened, and normally Australia lags global trends, even when it comes to COVID or pandemic trends. But tell me in the comments if you think that is a realistic likelihood. Third thing, China, Australia going to war. Is that really going to happen? Is that feud likely and realistic to happen in the next few years? I would say that tensions are going to continue to simmer over. Tensions are going to continue to bubble. That whether that boiling point will ever be reached, I think China is far too reliant on Australia. Maybe 10 years from now, right? Maybe 10 years from now, China, it's like changing the direction of the battleship. They changed their economy to be more self-reliant in terms of resources. They changed their economy to be a little bit more agnostic to Australia. But these things, it's a 20-year dependency. It doesn't happen overnight. So I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But tell me if you disagree. Leave it below. And whether there will be massive defaults on loans that will increase the stock on market, that will increase supply, therefore property prices coming down. Now, what is really going to drive foreclosures? In fact, right now, the banks are continuing to say, anyone having issues whatsoever, come speak to us, let's make it work. Much like they did before. Last year, they gave a 6-month holiday to homeowners to mortgage. On your mortgage, if you couldn't pay it, they would defer the interest, they would defer everything. Like, they are likely to continue that because the banks make money when the economy is strong. They are pegged, they are tied, they are joint at the hip to the Australian economy. Banks are too big to fail. The government, in my view, will never let the banks fail in product or in hence they will never let the property market fail. So if there is another recession or something like that, the government, the banks are going to come to your rescue as homeowners and allow you to defer your loans, is my personal opinion. But tell me if you disagree. I'm just one person, just some guy on YouTube. I produce so much data-driven content. This video, I thought I'd just express some views, some right-wing or left-wing eventualities that could really take the rug from underneath the property market. But tell me if this is likely to happen. If you think that I've missed any situations, if you are genuinely on the sidelines of the property market and you're thinking, I think the property market is overvalued. I know so many of you do think that, and I respect that. If you think it's overvalued, if you think there's going to be a correction, please, if I've missed something, let us know in the comments what that will be, and we can strive to do another video on that or start a discussion. A meteor could happen, could not happen. I have no idea. The dinosaurs didn't think it would happen either. Subscribe, guys, turn the notification bell on. Most importantly, give it a thumbs up. Let's drive this debate. Let's have an educated debate. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. I am not the messiah. I'm just one property expert of 25 million in Australia. So hopefully this video strives to stimulate your juices. And if you're genuinely thinking what is going to bring the property market down, well, here are 4 things that I shared. Interest rates going up by 3% in a year, COVID wave 3, China-Australia war, and massive defaults on loans. These are the 4 things that I think could bring the property market collapsing down, but these 4 things are incredibly unlikely to happen, in my honest opinion. Tell me what you think, guys. My name's VK. Take it easy.